Yeah, so I mean I said so much and he probably didn't hear me, but for me I was just like whatever, it doesn't matter, you know, because I'm just gonna say it to know that I said it. And then man, I hella cried. Like literally I had like my makeup done, I had fake lashes on, I had my contour was like right on, my hair was kind of crappy, I mean, but it wasn't a bad hair day too, you know. But I was just like, man, I can't handle that that's the end of BTS for this concert. So I just started bawling my eyes out. I was like, literally, I'm gonna give you a reenactment. I was like, that's exactly like how it was for like 20 minutes after Rap Monster left, because I was just so sad that that was the end of BTS. And literally there was like this black girl that was in front of me, the Asian mom, the Korean mom, this other girl, the girl that hated me. They were all just like looking at me like, are you serious, you know? And I was just like, yes, I'm serious. Like, oh my gosh, like you guys probably don't even feel this strongly about your bias group, because I do. And it was crazy. Like literally I cried so much. I'm pretty sure I had like waterproof makeup on, so thank the Lord for waterproof makeup. Ooh. But it was just so sad because like I just like my tears just like fell, you know, like a waterfall, just and I, yeah. And I'm pretty sure I was just holding it in, because when I met BTS at the High Touch, I just three, four strands of tears. And I was just so excited for meeting them. I didn't know how to feel. And then I think when it came to the end, I was like, oh shit, you know, like this is the end, you know. So I cried my damn eyeballs out, y'all. I flipping cried so hard, man. Like I can't even explain it. I wish you guys were there to see me, or anybody. Like even Judy, Melissa, and them were there, but they didn't see me cry so much. You know, I cried so hard, and people were just looking at me like, "You's a crazy woman." Whatever. But anyway, so that was the P1 standing for the night. And then I went to the car and I was trying to wait for, you know, my posse, my peoples, so that we can go. And I ended up waiting for probably like an hour and a half. And I think they were waiting for me, but their phones died. And my phone only had 10% left. So I was trying to call them, but I couldn't get a hold of them. So I was like, I'm just gonna go to the car. So I went to the car, and then they came an hour and a half later. So anyways, the concert ended, and it's like 9:50. Let's say about 9:50, right? And it was, so I was like, whatever, it's cool. So this whole time we were like, let's go to the Line Hotel, which is where the artists are sleeping. So we were like, let's go there, and like we might run into somebody again, you know. So then we went, and then like there was nobody there. So I was like, that's so weird, you know. Like I feel like it was really empty for a parking lot for some reason. I'm pretty sure there were like stalker people there too, but I think that, you know, they're good at stalking, so they like were hiding and stuff. But anyway, so we drove past this restaurant, and there was like this black van in the parking lot. So we were like, okay, so Judy was like, look for big black vans, or big black white vans, or big white vans, because there's probably like a K-pop artist in there. So we were like, cool, you know. And so we're like, okay. And so then so we saw this big black van in a parking lot at a restaurant, but we were like, there's probably someone famous there. And there was hella people standing outside of the restaurant. So, but they didn't look like fans. They just kind of looked like they were waiting to eat there. And the restaurant looked pretty full on the inside too. So I was like, okay. So it wasn't, for some reason it wasn't obvious. So anyways, that was probably like 11:30 or something. So we drove around, we're trying to find places to eat. We couldn't find any places to eat. So we came back to the same damn parking lot where the black van was. And Judy was just like, oh, you know, like just pull into this restaurant. So we're like, okay. So we pulled into the restaurant, and as we pulled in, we saw a group of guys come out, but then it was like, there was like, it wasn't that many people. It was probably like 3 or 4 guys only. But I noticed in my head, it clicked. I was like, that's Jimin, because I can tell Jimin's body shape, his hair, his gestures, you know. I was like, that's Jimin. And so I was like, what? And then Judy was like, oh my gosh, that's BTS. And I was like, BTS was here the whole time. Like, oh my gosh, I gotta tell you. Okay, but anyway, so okay, don't mix up my stories. Okay, So anyway, so BTS comes out, and then there's like 3 or 4 guys following him too, and they're wearing like black, but they're not BTS members. So there's like they're probably like just the helpers that help BTS around. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like that's Jimin, you know, like that is Jimin. And so like we like right when we were about to pull into like the parking lot, like we're gonna find a parking space, this car pulls out that's like next to BTS's van. So what happened was, here's BTS's van, and then here's a little tiny car, and we're in an SUV, which is higher. And so here's the big black van, a little car, and then SUV. And then when Jimin, I was like, oh my gosh, like I was freaking out from seeing Jimin already. And then when Jimin opens the door, the light inside the van comes on, and all you see is all of BTS. Like, I can't even explain it. Like, they're, mind you, I've seen them in suits and all that stuff all day, but this time they're like in regular t-shirts, beanies, hats, snapbacks, you know, jeans and shoes, like regular people. And I was like, oh my god, like that is so hot to see them like laid back, you know. So I was like, oh my god, like right when he opens the door, Rap Monster's right by the door. So I was like, oh gosh, like I'm sitting on the right side of the car, okay, and Rap Monster's on the left side of the car. So like their car is facing that way, our car's facing this way. And so when he opens the door, I see Rap Monster, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, don't freak out, don't freak out. And then I was saying that out loud, and Judy and they were like, yeah, just be normal. And I was like, yeah, let's just be normal. Like, we're not crazy fans, it's okay, you know, like let's just be normal. I know I was just trying to tell myself, I was trying to convince myself to be normal. But anyways, yeah, so then like you see, like right when he opens it, like we all like are hella looking at them too, you know. But Jin is like in the passenger side, and then Rap Monster, and then I didn't see anybody else. I'm pretty sure there was like hella people next to like Suga and V or something were next to Rap Monster or something. But then Jungkook's in the back, and then Jimin, when he opens the door, like he goes to the back too, you know. So I was like, oh my gosh, like this is BTS, like right next to us, and they just ate at this restaurant. Like, oh my gosh. Yes, the name of the restaurant was BCD. And so I didn't know, because I was like, oh my gosh, like I tweeted, and I was like, I just literally like saw BTS in the parking lot of a restaurant, like randomly. We were literally thinking about eating there too, I think, and because Judy was like, let's just pull in, you know, and we're like, that's fine. So we just went. You know, we weren't even waiting for anybody. We weren't expecting to see anybody, because we were like really frustrated. We've been driving around for like 2 hours trying to find out what to eat. And right when we went, like Jimin comes out, you know. So I was like, oh my god, this is BTS. And so it was so awesome just to see BTS like that one last bit. So I mean, I ended the night pretty good already when Suga came back for me. And then we go to a damn parking lot, and I see BTS eating at a restaurant called BCD, which is literally like 1 block away from the Line Hotel that they're sleeping. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't even, I don't even know what to say, I don't even know what to do, you know. And so I like, that was like the best way to end the night. This is like 11:58 or something, like midnight literally, when they came out of the restaurant. And so like a lot of the fans that were there, like they didn't even get to see them, because I think they were just waiting for like hours, you know, because literally like if you think about it, the concert ended at like 9:45ish, and fans went straight, you know, followed BTS, and they've just been waiting for like 3 hours about. And I guess they got tired because they left. And when I tweeted that up, a girl was like, oh, you know, she was like, what? She was like, what? You ran into BTS? And I was like, yeah. And she was just like, I was there at BCD restaurant, you know, like I didn't even get to see them, you know, like, are you sure that was them? And I was like, yeah, they were there, you know. And I was like, what time did you leave? She was like, 11:50. And I was like, yeah, like they came out at like 11:57. You know, like you're like 7 minutes late. And she was like, oh my gosh, I hate my life. And it was hilarious. Like I was like, oh my gosh, we came at such the perfect timing. And that was the best way to end it. I mean, that's the end of my BTS stories. That is the end. But I'm telling you, I got to see and touch BTS so much that I was not even like expecting that at all. Like that was just way too much for me in one day, and I was just so happy. If I could relive that day over and over, like I would totally. yeah, but then like Judy, Melissa, and Sarah, and then were telling me like they're like, oh my gosh, you're so lucky to have met your bias group at your first Korean concert ever, and you've met them so much, and you